Hello, welcome to Miss Strawberry Makes. This is a crafty podcast about knitting, crocheting, sewing, and any other crafty shenanigans that I get up to. I'm Michelle, and you can find me on Instagram as Miss Strawberry Short Girl. This is episode 31, I believe. Well, to all my returning viewers, thanks for coming back. Good to see you again. And to anyone who's trying me out for the first time, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy it. So it's been a little while since I made an actual podcast thingy. I did do a little countdown to Easter for the 12 days up to and including Easter, but again, that's been a little bit now, so trying to get back into the swing of things here. Yeah, so I think I'll just dive right in with the things I've done and then maybe just like chatter along the way. Yeah, sounds like a plan to me. So let's start with finished objects, maybe. I think the only like completely finished object I have is these socks. These are Pearly Dot Socks by Sandra of Cherry Heart, and the yarn is Dandelion and Dogwood in Parisian Powder Room. So I'm really happy with how they turned out. I just adore this yarn, but pretty much everything that Dandelion and Dogwood makes. And this is a really enjoyable pattern too. I think this is maybe the third pair of these I've made. I love the little peacoat edge. And then just the little lacy pattern. Very simple to follow and can do it pretty mindlessly. Yeah, so it's not really wool sock weather, so probably won't be wearing these for a while. When I took pictures of them for Instagram, I put them on to take the pictures and then I took them off as fast as I could because it's so warm out right now. Yeah, it might be pushing 90 degrees today. I can't remember exactly. But yeah, so happy with those socks, though I shan't be wearing them for a little bit. This might be a bit higgledy-piggledy because I can't remember what was done when as far as chronologically, but I will just show you. Excuse me, got it. Oh, I had to go get some water. I got a tickle in my throat. This is a new item. I got 6 of these little vintage glasses. They're quite cute. Okay, I'll just keep there. Okay, so what was I talking about? I can't remember. Oh, I think I will show you these socks. They are done apart from needing to weave in all the ends. So these are a test knit I did. They are the Lucky Star Socks by Deborah Raymond of Candy Shop Yarns. So that is the originals, and I did them in pastels naturally. So halfway through I had one sock just about completed, and then my grandma actually passed away, so kind of stopped knitting on them, and I didn't pick them up again until after they were released. And I went on a trip to North Carolina with one of my friends. We went to a Bible conference and then just had some fun exploring. Like we saw Biltmore Estate, which was beautiful. Maybe I'll put in some video of that at the end if you guys would want to see that. I'll do some vloggy bits at the end of this podcast. So these have to be on kind of backwards because all the hairy ends there. So here are my Lucky Star socks. So I went with a gray for the mane, and I believe the yarn was Knitted Wit that I got at a local yarn shop. And then, so on each of the heels, there's a duplicate stitch design. So one has a star and one has a heart. So that was fun. I'd never done duplicate stitch before, so that was a fun thing to do. But overall, yeah, I'm really happy with how they turned out. They will be really cozy because they have a nice long cuff, and then they're ribbed, so they will fit nice and tight, I think. And this Knitted Wit yarn is particularly squishy. It's slightly itchy, but not like in a bad way. I like it a little itchy myself. And then the stripes are Wild Rose yarns. I had a set of minis. It was actually a set of 10, and I only needed 8, I think, for this pattern, and I still have lots left. So I actually feel like the stripes sort of stood out better on a lighter, even lighter colored yarn. So I'd kind of like to do another pair with the same stripes, maybe in a different sequence, just for fun, but then a lighter colored yarn. So maybe white or off-white, or maybe something white or off-white with tiny little pastel speckles, if I can find such a thing. So the pattern was very well written, very easy to follow, and just such a fun design. So it's supposed to be like 80s, which is fun. Reminds me not quite of my childhood. I was born in the 80s, but like mid 80s, but of course my childhood was more 90s, but I still do dig that 80s vibe. So those are fun. Highly recommend that pattern. I should go ahead and weave in all those ends, because that way you can really see what they look like. So those are super cute. Yes, and then that was a test knit. I did do one other test knit. This was for Amy Lowden of Tailoress Studios. This is the Chatra Cardigan. Actually, let me try it on for ya. Again, this is still not entirely completed. I need to do the buttons. But I'm actually gonna give this one to my sister Amy. So she's a bit taller than me, so I'm actually gonna need to lengthen it by about 1 repeat. So I'm gonna rip back the ribbing at the bottom, add another buttonhole section repeat, because the way it's knitted is very, very interesting and very clever. The band is knit at the same time as the rest of the cardigan, but it's held on separate needles, separate, slightly smaller double pointed needles. So it's for a really clean effect. So no seaming along here, no picking up stitches later on, you just knit it as you go. So, and the sleeves have just the eentiest weensiest bit of gathering for a little bit of a puff sleeve. So the size I made, I feel like is perfect for me as well. It'll be perfect for Amy too, she's just taller than me. But I decided as I was knitting it, this yarn isn't quite, well actually it kind of goes with this. Maybe I won't give it to her. Well, we'll see. We'll see. But anyway, the sleeves are amazing bishop sleeves, which are like my favorite sleeve ever now. This yarn is really light and soft. I'm not really showing this off to the best of its abilities, but maybe I'll get more full length views of it and pop it in. Let's see here. I was using Barocco Mochi in green tea. Either green tea heather or green tea, I can't remember what. It doesn't say the color name on here. It just has a number, but I know it was green tea something. So yeah, it's 37% baby alpaca, 35% nylon, 26% fine merino, and 2% other fiber. So I actually did gauge swatches. I never do gauge swatches, so that's a big deal. I wondered where these sunglasses were. Do you do that? Forget things in your knitting bags, then you find them later and you're like, I was looking for that. Usually it's just needles and things, but that's really exciting. I was looking for these sunglasses. Anywho, so yes, this pattern, very, very easy to follow. Some of it felt a little complicated, but once I wrapped my mind around it, it wasn't as complicated as I was making it out to be, if that makes sense. So, oh, I was gonna show you the picture, but since I had the test knit version of it, there's literally no picture on there yet. So, but here is how, well, I can put the words on the screen. How you spell Chartres. Chatra. Chatra. I looked up how to pronounce it. We discussed this on a previous podcast, I remember. But yeah, so I actually got more yarn to make more. So I got this kind of aqua-y color and a nice lavender color, and these are one of the yarns that she actually recommends for the pattern. It is Drops Air. This one is again, it just has a color number. They have real names, but I can't remember the name of that one, but I love it so much. See the subtle other colors in there. Oh, my face, maybe you can see it better. So pretty. And then, and these are Drops Air Mix, which actually has like other colors, a little subtle in there. This has some pink, a little bit of bluishness going on in there. Again, these are so soft and so light. So it's like Alfie. Stop. Alfie, my cat, if you don't know. If you're new here, that's my cat. So this yarn is the same. It's like a net that's like knit, and then like the other fibers are like blown inside. So it's really light and airy, hence the name Air. So this is 65% alpaca, 28% polyamide, which is probably kind of like nylon. I don't know for sure. It's got poly, like polyester in the name, and then 7% wool. So this is mostly alpaca. This is quite nice. Oh, it's so soft. So these are gonna make really nice cozy sweaters, but like so lightweight, so nice. Just a nice, keep saying nice, just a nice light fluffy pastel sweater. So yeah, I've got enough there to make 2 more, obviously. I kind of want this now that I have it on. That's selfish though, isn't it? Anyway, let's talk about something else. Oh, this sweater that I was wearing earlier, I did not make this. This is bought, I thrifted it, but it's vintage. Isn't it fun? I don't know how old it is. If you watched my stories on Instagram, you will have seen this, but here's the tag. So it doesn't look super old, but the style itself, of course, is very classic granny cardi. So it's got like cables with a little bit of embroidery on there, and then these are weird. They're almost just like a knitted I-cord that they tied knots in and like weaved in, but you could obviously just do bobbles. I kind of want to try to recreate this just because I love it so much. So it's just ribbed, kind of worsted weight, I would say. And yeah, then they just did the little What are you doing? The little embroidery on there reminds me of something I actually saw not that long ago from Wool and the Gang. They had a neat line that was like that. So yeah, that is that. So that again was another enjoyable test knit. Work in progress. Rather than weaving in the ends of my Lucky Star socks and some, you probably remember these stripy socks. They still need the ends weaved in. Ends. Oh, these are another pair of Pearly dot socks too. Rather than weaving in those ends like a good girl, I cast on another pair of socks. So this is Midnight Dancer by Sari Nordlund. I love these socks. They're so simple, but with that little ruffle, it just gives them little extra muchness that I love. So on the first sock there, past the heel, working my way down the foot. I did the German short row heel, which I really like because it just flows nicely. This yarn is Biff Sugar Yarns Bloom. Let's see if you can. It's just so beautiful. Like Paula of Stitched by Mrs. D would say, every stitch is a different color, and those are her favorite kind of yarns. And she's right. This particular one, like just about every stitch is a different color, and it's just so much fun to knit, just see like, ooh, what's gonna come next. Lovely. I just love it. So those have been coming along quite quickly. I make the size small of this pattern because I like my socks really tight, and so it's only 56 stitches, so it knits up just like really quick. The hardest part is the ruffle. It's pretty fiddly because you start out with like a ton of stitches and then, you know, decrease to get your ruffle. Highly recommend that pattern as well. I feel like this is probably the third pair I've made of these as well. I know I made myself a pair in the fall out of Pumpkin Eve speckled from Cheapy Fibers, etc., I believe. And then I made my sister Amy a pair in more neutral speckly. So yeah, love those. Been working on those lately. As far as crochet goes, I was working on the Floral Diamonds jumper by Fran Morgan. This gorgeous thing here. And I got my squares all done. I got them all joined. It's very lovely, but it's quite small. It is supposed to be like oversized and loose, and it is, we'll just say it's fitted. So, I mean, technically it fits, but not quite the look I was going for. Like, it would be really cute over a dress because it ended up being rather short. Yeah, here, maybe I'll show you. So, I adore the colors I ended up using. And I sewed these all together, and it wasn't bad to sew them together at all. But yeah, it's just kind of fitted. The yarn I used said it was DK, but I feel like it was more like sport. So yeah, I mean, like, I'd say it's wearable like this, but not what I wanted slash what it's supposed to look like. I still need to do like the border and stuff, but I haven't done it, of course, because I'm contemplating making more squares and doing the layout for this next size up. So, you know, make however many more squares to make the next size up. But that will mean I have to take it all back apart. Guess I could kind of separate them here. But the way I sewed them together was I started at the bottom and did like round 1, round 2, round 3, you know, and then as you went up, joined. So it's like joined just like that. So it would be, I don't know how easily I could get them apart from here. So it's kind of languishing in the UFO pile right now. I even like got it wet and stretched it really good, which made it look like all really nice and uniform, but it's just supposed to be loose and it's not. So either I am trying to slim a little bit, so I could wait and see if I lose weight, if it gets looser, but there's no way it's gonna get as loose as as loose as it needs to be to fit correctly. So I mean, because look at it on the model, it's obviously large on her. Like that's how it's supposed to fit, like baggy, like loose. But I love the colors, like look at how wonderful the colors are. Oof, oof, I love them. I adore it. We'll see. Or I could like leave this one fitted and just make like a whole new one bigger. Or maybe my skinny little niece could wear it. See, I've got options, but I'm too disheartened to work on it anymore right now. You get that way? Like I just can't deal with it right now. Too bummed. But anywho, let's talk about something else. Let's do some looky what I got. Let me gather some things. Okay, so I already showed you that yarn. So that is a looky what I got there. Speaking of my trip to North Carolina, I kept getting it confused. The little town we stayed in where the conference center for the Bible conference was had a yarn shop. The town was Black Mountain, and so had to stop in Black Mountain Yarn Shop. Anywho, okay. So it was a lovely shop. I'll include a snippet of it with my Vloggy bit. So I got some wonderful yarn while I was there. So they had these little sock sets with like a 50-gram main and then a little, it feels like 20-gram, probably a 20-gram mini. So this one is called Lucy's Cafe. Oh, and the brand is Shirley Bryan Yarn, so SBY. And look at the label, has like a little raptor or something knitting on there, which really cracks me up. Yeah, it's just hilarious. But yeah, so this is Lucy's Cafe, and it just looks kind of ballet to me, like ballet pink, and then the little taupe, I guess, accent. But look at the main color has some fun speckles in there too. So Alfie had gotten a hold of these, of course, so they got a little played with, but can't blame them really. They are quite nice. And then this is Emma's yarn, Crazy Beautiful Color. Practically Perfect Sock, and the colorway is 80s Rewind. So of course I was working on my Lucky Star socks on the way there, so I was thinking 80s, and then this just really caught my eye. I don't know if it would work for a pair of Lucky Star socks though, just because it's got so much going on that you know, the stripes might be kind of lost on it. But aren't those fun colors? Look at that bit there. Love it so much. So there's that one. And then this is my very favoriteest. Now this I had to try and wind back up into a skein myself, so because Alfie had gotten a hold of it. This is La Bien Aimée, which this is how my sister Amy's name is spelled as well. So just so pretty. I was like, look, Amy, your name. But the label's so cute. This is French. So this is their Cache Merino, 75% superwash merino, 15% cashmere, 10% nylon, and this color is Romance. So look, the label's even like in French, but isn't this, pop this off so you can really see it. It's just so beautiful. May as well take it back apart. Alfie already messed it up. That box is popping open under the weight of all that yarn. Okay. Something, I don't know where you go. But anyway, this is quite lovely. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? Ooh, the speckles. I love it so much. So I'm not very good at winding these back up, but I does my best. So it was a really fun trip. I really enjoyed seeing Biltmore. I really enjoyed exploring that little town. Using my foot to do this. You can't see it because it's off camera. Okay. It's not very ladylike. Okay, here we go. There. Still, I'm not very good at putting them back into skeins. Still doesn't look right. I'll fiddle with it later. I should look up like a YouTube tutorial or something. It's like folding back up a pattern after you take it out of the envelope. You can never get it back the same. But anyway, I think, is that all I had to show you guys? I think so. So this might be like a lot of vloggy bits at the end. So I've gotten, oh, I did. This is totally not knitting, but so I got like a little Biltmore pin. It's not gonna focus. And then a patch too, just for fun. I love how the background is pink. So the mountains were so beautiful. I can see why people love them so much. And then also, this is not knitting related, but I did get these eyeshadow palettes from Winky Lux. They're just, okay, so first I got this one, Latte Kitten, and it is just, I love it so much. So my favorites are to do Sugar Crystal, Honey Lavender, and then Hibiscus, like upper lid, lower lid, and crease. Like that's my favorite. That's not what I'm wearing today though, but these are slightly coffee scented. How extra is that? And then this one I got more recently, this is what I'm wearing today, is the Mermaid Kitten palette. So I am wearing this on the top, this on the lid, and then the darker pink in the crease. So just fun, having fun with those. Some of these darker ones, I'm like, I'm probably never gonna wear those, but I just really liked the packaging of these because I'm into cute packaging. So I don't know, I just thought you might like to see those. And then oh, I got the most amazing vintage refrigerator. So it's turquoise on the outside, which is my favorite color, in case you didn't know. and it is pink on the inside, and it is in like pristine condition. Oh, it's so cute. I love it so much. It's apartment size, so it's small. It's shorter than I am, and I'm 5'1", and it is just so darling. I love it. So of course I'll put in some footage of that as well. So jokingly, but not entirely joking, I said only cute food can go in that fridge. So we have 2 fridges in our apartment now. Ugly food in the fridge that goes with the apartment, and cute food in my fridge. So I think I've talked enough nonsense for now. I'm gonna go ahead and let you go and pop in some vloggy bits. Well, you all have a great rest of your Sunday. Of course, by the time I post this, your Sunday will probably be over. But yeah, thanks for checking in with me, and happy making. Bye. Oh, and there's Alfie. Alfie, say bye. Say bye. Bye, people. He thinks I'm nuts, and he's not wrong. Bye.